News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The annual Cleveland Browns Foundation Radiothon takes place in mid-September. Vice President and Executive Director Renee Harvey is here to tell us about this event and other events as well taking place this fall. Then we'll hear from the president of the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival Foundation, Alton Tinker. He'll talk about the 2015 Urban Film Festival, which begins September the 17th. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. Good to have you with us on broadcast. A good broadcast we always have, and certainly today is no exception. Renee Harvey, Vice President, Executive Director of the Cleveland Browns Foundation.
Yes, sir.
Good
morning.
See you.
How are you?
Good morning. Just fine, just fine. And how is the foundation? What does the foundation do?
Well, the foundation was started back in 1999, and we've undergone some restructuring and refocus, and we're doing a lot of great work in Northeast Ohio in the areas of education and health and wellness are our two core areas. So a lot of work with the Cleveland School District in particular.
So when we talk about Cleveland Browns, it's not just running and throwing and tackling.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of other good stuff.
It's so much more than that, and I think that's what's so amazing about being with the Browns Foundation.
Yeah. Tell me about the Radiothon in September. Give me an overview.
So the Cleveland Browns Foundation is a public foundation, which means we raise public dollars, of course. So we do that through a myriad of different events. Radiothon is one of those, and it takes place. This will be our second annual event on September 15th and 16th on ESPN Radio, and so fans can check in. Last year we had over 30 players, front office, ownership, you name it. Everyone was interviewed, and really gives us a chance to talk about the great work and being done by our partners in the community. And one-of-a-kind experience packages are offered. So we had people could go fishing with Joe Thomas last year. They also could bid on this package that's showing right now with Coach Pettin, which is a chalk talk. So really exclusive opportunities which are really not available anywhere else and only through the Radiothon.
Now, when you raise this money, what's this money? Where does this money go in?
Yes, this goes right back in. This is all an investment right back into the community. We believe in that, and so it all stays in Northeast Ohio, and we do a myriad of different programs, again, mostly with education and youth development. Again, a lot with the school district, adapted football leagues, and many of the programs I know we've talked about over the last few times I've been.
Well, what's some of the items that you're auctioning off this year?
So we're going to do the Joe Thomas package, which was very popular last year. He's an avid fisherman, so we're going to do that one again. You can go to a Cavs game and send very close to the court with Joe Hayden and his wife, obviously a huge Cavs fan. We have, again, some packages with our ownership, Super Bowl trips, you name it. You can fly on the team with our team owner, or our team president, rather. So a lot of different things on game day. Kids can go on the field and get the tees after the team is kicked off. So just something for everyone.
Just great stuff.
Something for everyone. We have autographed items, so we have things at a lot of different price points so that everyone can be part of it and take part in the Radiothon.
Renee, what do you want the fans to do now? These fans of the Cleveland Browns, we love to see them hit and run and tackle and throw and all of that.
We do.
What can they do to help in this effort?
So the Radiothon is a great way for everyone to participate. I think, one, understanding what the organization's trying to do. There's so many wonderful initiatives that we're supporting in the community, and all those partners need help as well on an ongoing basis through volunteerism or some financial support as well. So we're really hoping this helps activate our fan base to do something and get involved as well. So, bidding on the auction items, listening in, hearing what's going on, and getting involved in their local communities is really what we're hoping for.
Where's the Radiothon going to be? Where can we find it?
So you can find it on ESPN Radio on air, and then we'll also have that streaming on clevelandbrowns.com, so they can check that out. 28 hours we'll be there. It'll be long, but 28 hours. We'll be there from 9 a.m. on the 15th through 1 p.m. on September 16th. We'll be airing that through our facility in Berea, but it'll be open to everyone to listen.
I'll give those dates again: Monday, September 15th, and Tuesday, September 16th on ESPN Radio.
Yes.
850 on the AM radio dial.
Yes.
As the guys at radio say, on the AM radio dial.
Okay. Got that voice.
My notes also tell me that there's something called Dog Pound Double Down.
Yes.
Now that sounds like fun.
It is fun. It's going to be a blast. It's 11 days after our Radiothon. It is a first-time event for us. because they did this, they scheduled this right around Legends Weekend, so we will have a host of alumni in town. So everyone from Vince Costello, Jim Brown, of course, Kevin Mack, but Michael Dean Perry, some guys that we may not see as often, and they're going to come into town for a casino night event is really what it is. But it'll be down at the stadium. It'll be at First Energy Stadium in our new City Club, which is absolutely spectacular if you haven't been down there. They've done such an amazing job with the renovation. So really excited to get some people down there, play blackjack, craps, roulette, you name it. So it'll be a really fun evening, loose environment.
This is full-time work for this is full-time work.
Yes, it is.
Just running that aspect of the Cleveland Browns.
It's a blast.
The
it's so
Cleveland
much
Browns Foundation is just involved in all.
Yes.
Now, I know you don't deal with the X's and the O's and who's going to quarterback and all that kind of stuff.
No.
But you hang around the Cleveland. You see the question. You hear it building right now.
Yes.
You hang around the Cleveland Browns and you hear the talk.
Yeah.
Look into your crystal ball and tell me, Renee Harvey, what do you see for the Browns this year?
Oh, good question. I see, I see a coaching staff coming together who's been together for another year, and I see young players maturing, and hopefully with some of the veteran guys coming in, I think it's going to be a really fantastic year. I'm excited to see what they're able to accomplish both on and off the field.
There is a sense of excitement at the ballpark.
Oh, there
too.
is. There absolutely
and with
is.
all the renovations that were made at the stadium too, at First Energy.
Beautiful. I want to make sure we take care of our fans for sure. Absolutely.
I mean, you can go there and just do everything.
Everything.
Almost everything. Well, and you can find good meals and all of that, and good
amazing
football.
Food. Yes, amazing food. They've done such a great job with Aramark and our food partners as well.
We're talking to Renee Z. Harvey. She's Vice President and Executive Director of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, and she's going to stick with us for another segment, but we've got to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be right back in just a moment with Renee. We'll continue our talk. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope, and we continue our discussion right now with Renee Harvey. She's Vice President and Executive Director for the Cleveland Browns Foundation. She was with us in the last segment, and we've asked her to stay over for another segment because we want to talk about your partnership and a special partnership that you have with the Cleveland school system.
We do. We've worked with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for many years through the foundation and through the Browns organization, but this year we're really ramping that up, and we're partnering with them on their Get to School campaign, which is a campaign that's really targeted at reducing the number of absentees for our kids, that chronic absenteeism. We need to get our kids to school, and we want everyone to take ownership of it.
So the truancy, we've got to wipe out truancy.
We do. We do. We need kids in school. We need kids in school so that they're learning, and we want them to take their own, we want them to be accountable to themselves. And, if kids aren't in school, they're not going to learn, which means they're not going to graduate, and it's just a ripple effect. And so we want to make sure that we're giving the district what we think we can to help elevate the work that they're trying to do.
What can you give the district right there?
Sure. So, well, in the fundraisers that we were talking about, this is the type of thing that we like to support. So something that we really feel like our resources will help make a difference and move the needle. So there will be some financial support that will go to the district, but also the other resources that we have available to us. We have a whole locker room full of players who, many of them come from very similar backgrounds to our kids in Cleveland, who can send them messages. Dante Whitner, Coach Pettin even actually already recorded messages that they sent out to the parents and families before school started. So motivational messages, incentives, tickets, whatever we can do to really drive a spark and get kids into school, we're there. We're all in.
We just had a graphic on the screen where we're going to put up some signs in the yards about the importance of going to school, and we can request a yard sign to show our support.
We would love that. We would absolutely love that. Again, we want this to be community-wide, a grassroots effort, and for kids who are younger, this has an effect on them that K to 3, if they're not in school, if they're missing 10 days of school, the chance that they're on that third grade reading guarantee track is 9% less. 34% lower chance of graduation rate as they get into high school. So this is devastating. We need to get our kids in school, and we want everyone to, again, to take ownership of that.
Yeah, we interviewed the CEO of the Cleveland schools just the other day, and Eric Gordon, and he was saying 10 absent days, 10 days of absenteeism can have a negative effect on how well that student is going to do that year or that semester in school.
Their reading, their math scores are affected. So and we want this to be a very positive campaign, and we really think that we're on a good track. And again, we're really happy to support what the district's doing. They have an amazing team behind this, and happy to help them.
Renee, this is all part of the Cleveland Browns, the whole philosophy, not only of the Cleveland Browns, but of the entire National Football League.
It is.
All the teams are doing this kind of thing, right?
Every team across the NFL has a community relations or a foundation who basically their staff is dedicated to giving back to the community and making sure that they're doing what they can to elevate their community and get their players involved, their coaching staff, their staff. And each team does it a very different way, but with Dee and Jimmy Haslam at the helm for us, it's, I mean, this is really extremely important to them.
When you have the star quarterback or the star wide receiver or the star tackle or center or the second string whatever, when they're out there talking to the kids about this, that carries some weight, doesn't it, in the eyes of the children?
It does, and I think we try to do a really great job with our community relations department in identifying the right people to come out to speak to the kids, to make sure that they're delivering the right messages. You know, to have a Dante Whitner behind this program, Glenville grad, and to speak to these kids. He understands what they're up against to try and get to school, and I think those types of messages and seeing him involved in caring goes a really long way.
Yeah, Glenville's a wonderful place. That's where I went to school, but that was a long time before Dante went there. He and I were not classmates. I'm a couple of years in front of him. Talk about the Cleveland Browns training camp activities.
So we just wrapped up training camp, and we had about 32,000 fans come out to see us at camp. And so we really wanted to, back to your point earlier, we want to make sure that our fans are engaged in what we're doing as well, and they're doing what they can to give back. And so we've had them bring donations for our back-to-school campaign that we've done with Shoes and Clothes for Kids, so that they could get a little bit closer to that campaign. So many kids in our community need new school supplies, new clothing, and so it's a great way to get our fans engaged. We've also been able to invite a lot of our partners out to give them VIP treatment. They do such great work throughout the year, so inviting our families and clients that we help out through the year, give them a special day.
Now, as Vice President and Executive Director of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, this is full-time work for you. This is this is not just football season stuff.
No,
this
absolutely
is 12 months a year.
Absolutely not. We get tremendous support from our entire organization, so that makes the lifting a little bit easier.
Yeah. What do you have to keep in mind when you go do your job at the Cleveland Browns Foundation?
That it's for something much bigger than our organization, that it's for our entire region, and it's for our kids, and it's for the strength of our community. And I think that's usually at the forefront of what we do. I
noticed that the Cleveland Browns, on the uniforms, it says Cleveland right across the chest of all the uniforms, letting everybody know that not only are we the sports town, but we are we're Clevelanders as well.
Yes, we are.
We may come from different places, but we're Clevelanders right now.
That's what unites us.
And we carry the name of our town across our chest.
Very proudly.
That sends a signal, doesn't it, to the entire community?
Absolutely. I think that's a great unifier and a great moniker for everyone to understand that that's who they're representing. It's not necessarily about the name on the back, it's about the name on the front.
Let's talk about getting, in our final minute, getting parents involved in the campaign of keeping the kids in school. Now, what can mom and dad do?
So mom and dad can help obviously get their children to school and making sure that their children understand the importance of going every single day. But we also encourage them to sign up for the pledge, put the signs in their yard to let their neighbors know that they're on board, that they understand the importance as well. So hopefully as you're going down the streets of Cleveland, you see those lawn signs everywhere. We're doing phone banks and really canvassing a lot of parades and festivals and making sure that it is seen by everyone in the community. Again, we want this to be really owned and embraced by everyone.
I will tell everybody in the community you can get more information on everything we're talking about by going Twitter at BrownsGiveBack or clevelandbrowns.com/foundation. More information on everything that we've talking about. It's all on the website right there. We don't just put it on the football field, we put it on the website too. Okay. Thank you. Renee Z. Harvey, Vice President and Executive Director of the Cleveland Browns Foundation. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being with us. I'm going to take a break. I'm Leon Bibb. In a moment we'll be back and we're going to talk about this year's Urban Film Festival going on in Cleveland. Wow. So much happening here. I'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. The Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival begins on September the 17th. The Director of Public Relations and Marketing, Felicia Haney, is here, along with the President of the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, Alton Tinker. They're here to explain what we can expect at this year's film festival. As they say in movies, lights, camera, action.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're on.
Yes.
Tell me about this. What's the mission, Alton Tinker, of the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival?
Well, the mission is really to create a memorable social experience that uplifts the consciousness of the visual arts. So but the reason why we started the film festival was really to provide a platform for talented independent filmmakers to give them an avenue to showcase their work to the great audience of Cleveland.
And this is going to be, you're starting this film festival September the 17th through the 24th.
Yes, this is the first year that we actually expanded the film festival. In the past, we did a 4-day film festival, but because of the requests so many requests that we received this year, we actually expanded it to 8 days. So we're really, really excited about that.
Felicia Haney, you're marketing director. Where is this film festival going to be located? Where are we going to see these films?
It will be located at Shaker Square Cinemas, which is a very happening area in Cleveland.
Yeah, right.
So that's 13116 Shaker Square.
There is a sense of excitement about this, too, in the urban film community. Tell me about this sense of excitement, of what it means and what can happen because of this.
Oh, most definitely. So, you know that it's not that we're the only film festival that exists, and especially not even in Cleveland. So what we do is want to offer minorities a chance to really get their films out there where they don't always have an outlet or a place to do that. So we provide that outlet for them.
Alton, what kind of films are we going to see in this film festival?
We have a diverse amount of films, and one of the things that I would like to talk about is really the local films that we're going to show. We have probably about 5 local films that was actually made, produced, and directed by local Clevelanders. We actually closed with a film called 50 Fathers that I play
hashtag 50 Fathers.
Hashtag 50 Fathers that I actually play a very, very small role in it as one of the 50 fathers that was called Dominique, which is a very talented athlete both in football and baseball, and he's projected to be a multi-million-dollar signed multi-million-dollar contract once he completed. So he's in the process of interviewing 50 fathers, and when he gets this contract, he's going to pay them $10,000 a year. So I just played a very, very small role, but what we love about the film is that everything about the film is Cleveland.
Oh, and really selling the city. We're talking about this, promoting the city.
Yes. And promoting the talent that we have in the city.
Yeah.
We have a lot of great independent filmmakers, but again, as Felicia said, they don't have the avenue to get their films out to the general public.
So as they are shown at the Shaker Square Cinema, right there in Shaker Square in Cleveland, running September the 17th through the 24th, are there other events which are planned around the films as well?
Most definitely. So even though just coming to see the films is excitement enough in itself, you have a lot of people who are really thirsty for knowledge on how to get their products out there. So we will have panel discussions and a filmmaker's breakfast with people who are in the industry that can really give some how-tos to people who don't know how to
break into film and how to get started, and directors and the film people themselves. Alton, what's the cost, and how do people get in line so they can get a seat at the film festival?
Before I answer that, I think there's one other excitement that's new this year, is that this year we are going to give Bill Cobbs an award. This is our first inaugural, what we call, we're going to basically honor him for his achievement. We're going to give him a tribute.
The featured film actor from Hollywood, Bill Cobbs.
Yes, so that's going to be on Sunday, September the 20th. We're going to show a couple of his films in the theater, and then about 6 o'clock we're going to move that over to Valor Restaurant in Larchmere, and we're going to pay tribute to him. And this is something we're going to do annually going forward, where we're going to give somebody from Cleveland that has made it in the film industry a Lifetime Achievement Award.
I've got a piece of that. I'm going to be partly involved in that, a little bit involved in that.
So to answer your question about the cost, this is a very great value. It's $150 for all access pass, where it gets you into everything GCUF, from the opening film to all 50 films to the closing film. We have 2 parties, Friday and Saturday night. We have educational workshops. We have a Let's Meet Actors. It gets you into everything. It's a really great value. And then if you just want to see films, except open the film and closing the film, it's only $50.
Okay, we're going to put a phone number on the screen. More information on everything we're talking about, 216-965-4142. You can get more information on everything we're talking about. And you certainly can go to the website, gcuff.org.
Yes.
You can get more information on everything we're talking about with the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival. And it's $150. That'll get you everything.
Everything. Everything. We call it everything
Backstage,
G-Cuff.
upstage, downstage, on film, everywhere. And,
yes.
and some hors d'oeuvres.
And to give you, just a perspective of the value, if you look at each thing that we do individually, it's over $600 value.
It's a wonderful
thing.
And
you're getting it for $150.
And I've got a little film that I'm going to be making, too, that we're going to be shooting, and we're going to be part of that film festival, too, so I look forward to that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alton Tinker and Felicia Haney of the Cleveland Urban Film Festival Foundation. Film Festival, 17th through the 24th of September at Shaker Square Cinema. Okay.
Thank you.
Lights, camera, action. But I got to take a commercial break. Here now is Marsha Mockabee at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Always got something on your mind you want to talk about.
You know, Leon, it seems like there's a lot on my mind all the time. I have trouble sleeping sometimes. But anyway, with the loss of two of our iconic leaders recently, Julian Bond and, of course, our own Congressman Louis Stokes, I've been reflecting about leadership a lot. And a couple of things as I look at those two leaders, I look at the fact that they were solution-driven. You know, they were always about trying to find solutions for problems. They weren't just ranting about it or talking about it or, raising all kind of sand about it, which, has its place, don't get me wrong. But they were about trying to find solutions for the things the ills that they saw. The other thing that I think both of them were very good at was about building bridges across diverse ideas. So, for instance, in Congressman Stokes' situation, he built bridges across political parties.
Yes.
Julian Bond was able to work around different institutions and organizational structures to come to consensus, to put solutions together. So it just hit me that that's a really good earmark of a strong leader.
That's what it's all about, is finding the common ground.
Exactly.
Even with people who disagree with you on some issues.
That's exactly
Is there
right.
a common ground
That's
we can
exactly
find?
right. That's exactly
and
right.
build on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that takes dedication to your mission as a leader as opposed to being focused on yourself as a leader. So as a leader, one of the things that I've been learning is we use the position to serve. It's not about us, but it's about the position that we're in to really serve others. And that's been a great lesson for me. It's been 5 years now, Leon.
Yeah. I don't know if you realize it, you just painted a picture of yourself as well.
Oh, wow.
One of those leaders. Many thanks, Marsha.
Well, thank you.
That's going to do it for us, for my good friend Marsha Mockabee. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope. We both appreciate you being with us.
Absolutely.
Take care, everybody.